Let's talk about 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds. Sound like nothing? Well, in the world of websites, those 3 seconds are literally everything. Today, we're diving into the brutal but absolutely critical 3-second rule of website performance. Okay, let's just get right to it. 53%. Seriously, burn this number into your brain. Why? Because that's how many of your mobile visitors will just leave if your website takes more than 3 seconds to load. We're talking more than half of your potential customers just gone in a flash, or I guess in the lack of one. And look, this isn't some gentle slope. It's a cliff, a straight-up abandonment cliff. Take a look at this chart. At just 1 second of delay, you're losing about 7% of your audience. Okay, not great, but maybe you think you can live with that. But by 2 seconds, that number just explodes to 28%. And then you hit that 3-second mark, boom, 53%. More than half your audience is gone. Every single tick of the clock is another potential customer just walking away. And if you think that's bad, it gets worse. A lot worse. Especially on the one device everyone is using, their phone. The penalty for being slow is a whopping 24% worse on mobile than it is on a desktop. So you know that super fast experience you get when you check your site on your big work computer? Yeah, that's not what your customers are seeing. And it's definitely not what Google cares about.
So losing visitors is one thing, right? But what does that actually mean for your wallet? Let's talk about the cold, hard cash. We're about to see how these lost seconds translate directly into lost dollars.
All right, here's another number for you, negative 7.1%. According to tons of research, that's the average drop in your conversion rate for every single second of delay. Let that sink in. For every second a customer has to wait, it's like you're putting a 7% tax on your own sales before they even get a chance to buy anything. So what does that 7% really look like? Let's put it into perspective. For just a regular mid-sized e-commerce business, a single 1-second delay can add up to a loss of $2.5 million in 1 year from 1 second. I mean, wow, that just shows you the insane power of time when it comes to your bottom line. Okay, let's make this even more real. Here's an actual example. We've got a business doing about $4.7 million in revenue. Because of a 2-second delay, just 2 seconds, they're losing over $329,000 a year. Just think about that for a second. What could your business do with an extra $329,000? A bigger marketing budget? More staff? Or hey, how about just more profit? But instead, it's just vanishing. All because of 2 little seconds. So you've got impatient users who are bouncing, and it's costing you a ton of money. You'd think that's bad enough, right? Well, that's only half the story. There's another massive player in this game that you absolutely, positively cannot ignore, and that, of course, is Google. See, Google isn't just suggesting you be fast anymore. No, they are demanding it. They've rolled out this thing called Core Web Vitals, and you can basically think of it as a report card for your website's speed and overall user experience. And guess what? Your grade on this report card is a direct ranking factor. It literally affects how high you show up in search results. And Google is super specific about what they're looking for. Don't worry about all the jargon here, LCP, FID, CLS. Let's break it down. All they're really measuring is how fast does your main stuff show up? How quickly can someone actually click on something? And does your page jump around all over the place while it's loading? You know how annoying that is? These aren't vague ideas. They're hard and fast targets you have to hit.
Okay, so what happens if you don't hit those targets? Well, the consequences are pretty severe. I mean, look at this. On average, sites that fail these benchmarks drop almost 4 positions in the search rankings. For a competitive keyword, that's the difference between being on page 1 and being, well, totally invisible. It can just wipe out a huge chunk of your free organic traffic. Now, this right here is something that so many people get wrong, and it's absolutely crucial. Your website might feel lightning fast on your desktop computer, right? But that's what we call a vanity metric. It doesn't really matter. Why? Because Google now uses what's called mobile-first indexing. That's a fancy way of saying they only care about how your site performs on a phone. That's the score that matters. That's the one that truly counts. And for most sites, that mobile score is way, way lower. Okay, so the problem is crystal clear, and the stakes are super high. It's kind of scary, actually. But the big question is, how do you actually fix it? So let's talk about the solution, because there's a huge gap between knowing you need a fast website and actually having one. You know, the old way of doing things was always to hire expensive developers to go in and make manual fixes. But that costs a fortune. We're talking $150 an hour.
It takes forever, and honestly, the improvements often degrade over time as you update your site. But there's a new way, automation. It's basically a set it and forget it solution, and the data here is just wild. It can deliver a 457% better return on your investment. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
And the best part about this whole automation thing, it's just simple. You don't have to rebuild your entire site from scratch. You literally just add a single line of code. That's it. From there, an AI takes over and instantly applies like 15 or more different speed optimizations, compressing images, streamlining code, all that techie stuff. And then it just works 24/7 in the background, keeping your site fast, even when you add new content. No crazy setup, no paying developers every month. Okay, so we've talked about the 3-second rule. We've seen the insane financial hit you take from being slow, and we've looked at a clear, simple path to a faster site. So I'm just going to leave you with one final thought. This whole explainer took, a few minutes to watch? Based on everything we just learned, how many customers do you think your website lost just in that time?